Okay, I think overall it's a really good day. Really wrapping up fall camp as far as our practices are concerned. Did some situational things. We did onside hands team. We did punt return. We're still trying to figure out who our punt returner is. So we had 4 or 5 guys being a part of that. Then we did a 2-minute situation, down by 7, down by 3 with both groups, and that was really, really good information. And a lot of times those end-of-game scenarios, the key is that the coaches and the players, they're all on the same page. The players know what the coach is thinking before, so you can't do enough work with that. We did a little third down work with crowd noise, because on third down, when you're on the road, the offense can't hear. When you're home, the defense can. So we really cranked the music up with that. And then we let our young guys scrimmage just a little bit towards the end, and we're just trying to find those young guys, hey, one more time to kind of show what you can do. Right now I'm not ready to say, this guy or that guy, but I will say there's a handful of guys that kind of flashed out there as they were going, and we're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle about special teams. The thing about special teams, you can have a 2-deep depth chart, but really as you get going halfway through the season, it's usually 3s and 4s, and some guys that may not even be on the list right there. So we're just trying to figure all that out as a staff. Tomorrow evening we will have like a dress rehearsal. We'll just come in here and we'll be in the locker room, we'll go through pregame, we'll get the sideline, we'll have all the scenarios with the defense, every special team scenario with that, where they're sitting, just all the specifics and who's in charge of the sideline on the offense, personnel, defense, everything with that. So it's wrapping up. It's been a grind for fall camp, 16 practices. I think the guys, for the most part, have done a really good job of hanging in there mentally, because physically, you go and practice, that's what you do, but the mental grind of everything, whether it's meetings, walkthroughs, practice scrimmages, and the ups and downs that go with it, it's been really good for our coaches. So, I think we're in a good spot. As far as our quarterback situation, I think we're getting real close to making a decision. It's not an easy decision, and I think that's a good thing for us long term, but we will be making a decision here in the near future. Questions?
You said things are kind of wrapping up as far as the camp phase. When do you kind of begin that game week mode? Is that beginning next week? And are you hoping to have the quarterback when that starts?
Yeah, we would definitely like that to happen. We've already kind of started working on our first opponent now. We're start school on Monday. We'll be off. That'll be our normal routine, and then Tuesday will really be our first full-fledged practice. As far as preparing for our opponents and all the pieces of the puzzle. So definitely we would like to have a quarterback named by then, if all possible, and I think we're getting closer.
You talk about practicing punt returns and kickoff returns. Do you feel like some of those younger receivers, the freshman receivers, or running backs could be part of that?
Yeah, I think so. Townsend's one of those guys that's in the mix and returning. Lee is one of those guys that's been in the mix with some kickoff returning. We got good information on the guys that've done it before, and so a lot of times this time of year it's more of, hey, seeing where somebody's at, that is new or just got here or transfer and all that, see how they react in certain situations.
Coach, before my question, I feel like this is something that's more on the red carpet at the Academy Awards, but with the NIL, you got a shirt or something for a player, something usually every day. So I'll ask, who are you wearing today?
Yeah, Coach Kamar Gamble, number 8.
Okay,
he's
fair.
got his own deal, and real proud of him. And he's had a really solid camp. I think he's in a good spot, for this season.
And as far as you mentioned gathering information and stuff as you do with this time of year, as you're getting away from the camp and more into game preparation, what do you think is one of the more valuable pieces of information? Obviously, not naming names, we don't need the gameplay and all that stuff, but what's the biggest piece of information that you think you got from camp?
Yeah, my deal was, I felt like we were a talented group, but talent only gets you so far. It's about chemistry, it's about team. It's really about those discipline, those intangible things. That's what wins championships. And so that's really what I've been looking for, how close our offense and defense can come together. How about our new guys with the young guys with the older guys? How are they coming together? And we've been in a lot of different situations, which is good. And so I think we're to a point where we know quite a bit about our team. The first couple games, regardless, you'll still learn some things, but I think we got some pretty good information right now.
You talked about the grind of this camp. What is the overall health of your team coming out?
I think overall, considering, I think we're fairly healthy. We got some bumps and bruises, hamstrings, stuff like that, soft tissue. We got to get healed up. That's what we said just a minute ago. That you got like 3 days to get your body healthy and all that. And then I told them, hey, Tuesday everybody's healthy. It's time to get going. But it has been a physical camp, and for the most part, we've had just like one two kind of situations injury-wise. So I think team-wise, we're in a good spot with that considering.
How is Amari Johnson? I know Chip kind of alluded to he got banged up. I know he was an important receiver and punt returner.
Well, he is one of those guys that did get banged up, and so we'll see how that goes. He's a very big part of what we're doing. I think everybody knows that. He's a dynamic special teams player. He's a very reliable receiver and all that. But he'll be working real hard to get back as soon as possible.
So if he's out at punt return, I know you mentioned Xavier Townsend, Quan Lee. Is that ideal to have a true freshman maybe back there returning punts?
No, I just mentioned those as
Okay.
freshmen that are given a chance. We know a lot about our older guys. We got three or four older guys we know a lot of. I was just bringing those guys up that we're giving them an opportunity to show what they can do.
So do you know who would kind of step in for
We're working on that. We got Ryan O'Keefe back there. And obviously everybody knows how dynamic he is with the ball in his hands. Colby Hudson's a guy that is doing. Newt is a guy that can do it. And then Nakai Martinez. So we got a lot of options. It's just a matter of we need to figure out in the next 10 days who the first guy's going to be out there.
You have an update on Landon Woodson at all?
Yeah, Landon, he is going to be not with us as far as the playing, but he is going to be assisting us in every possible. He's a big part of our team. He's one of the kind of unsung leaders right there. So he'll be helping the defense with all kinds of different things. His knees just not allowing him to be able to play. But he'll be with us and go through all the different things with senior day and all that. He's a big part of our program.
Coach, you mentioned in camp that an area of focus was the linebackers and such, and now we're coming up into week one there. In your mind, is there some sort of a measurable you'd like to see out of game one that'll let you know camp was successful with the linebackers?
We talked about we don't have time for growing pains. I mean, I think Travis has done a super job of giving those guys opportunities. I think he has a good idea about the guys that he will go with the first game. But the good thing is right now, I think we got depth in that position. That's the good thing. But he's done a super job with them, and we feel like we got some talent. And like I said, whether it's linebacker or anything, we don't have time for growing pains, so we got to be ready to go.
In what ways do you feel you have more weapons on offense than you did last year for a team that won 9 games?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, we got some veteran guys that were pretty good on their, teams that they had. These freshmen, we got some playmakers. Running backs, I mean, we're probably as deep as any team in the country at running backs. And so that's an area that's really good. And then, of course, our offensive line. We had a really good offensive line last year. We lost 2 of our guys. We brought 3 transfers in. Big Paul Rubald is getting better. I mean, and we really brought 2 transfer guards. And so I think we got a little more depth up front than we had last year.
Coach, you talk about Travis Williams' work with the defense. You worked with him on and off now for a really long time. And so I just wanted to ask, what's the bond like between the two? Considering cumulatively you two have worked so much together for so long.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's a real guy. He's one of my guys, man. I mean, he's a guy that he's not just a big time coach. He's a big time person, and he truly cares about his players. And he has a unique gift to. They want to play extremely hard for him, and I think that's a sign of a great coach. He's a great relationship guy. He's a great team guy within his own room. The defensive staff is very close, and he does a really good job with just making sure everyone meets the standard, defensively. So we're very blessed to have him.
I asked him back during media day what sort of impact did you make on him as a coach, and so I want to ask the same to you. Working with Travis, how did he impact the way that the coach that you are now?
Yeah, well, I have a lot of trust in him. Trust in him from the standpoint that he does a great job and he cares for his players. And I like the person he is, and he's unique, and that's really the big thing for me.
Coach, tomorrow night is that under the lights and it's night
Yeah, it's going to be like a helmet only. We're not even going to get rolling, full speed and all that. It's more logistic, just making sure we're extremely organized on the sidelines, so it'll be in the evening.
But getting acclimated to the lights in the stadium,
Yeah.
That's part of the attention.
That's part of it too, yeah. There's no doubt about that. Early in the season, that's always a factor.
You're making a transfer addition here with Timmy McLean, quarterback from South Florida. What did you like about his game to welcome him into your program?
Yeah, but I think all the people saw the way he played against us last year. He was dynamic, and for a true freshman, the way he competed, and the fact he's right down the road. And we talk about the state of Orlando, and so he is gonna be a scout team quarterback. You know, he'll get a chance to develop. You know, he knows a lot of our players. A lot of our players know him. And like I said, he's from a great high school here that's local. So it all fits with our plan.
Was it different? I guess obviously when you're looking at anyone in the portal, you look at their film and stuff, but the fact that you were on the same playing field with him and you saw with your own eyes what he was able to do, did that make an impact where it was a quicker decision, like, I want this guy?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you got to understand, I mean, like this day and time, and whether it's us or someone else, I mean, there's quarterbacks. I mean, they transfer and they're calling. There's a lot of guys that we could have had. We're just looking for the right type of person, the right type fit. And I think, you know, in fairness, we got 3 quarterbacks. That's all we got on scholarship. Most teams have 4 or 5. So, you know, the fact that we got him on scout team and he'll be, you know, ready to go to compete in the spring. And, you know, I think he fits with what we like to do.
Regardless of the position, when you're looking into the portal and you add a transfer, you're thinking about getting someone from the portal, do you talk with the current room and say, hey, this is someone we're thinking about? Or
a lot of times you either do with a position or you do with your leadership group. As far as that, you just definitely want to be transparent with those guys.
What do you think, Timmy, when he was that 2-minute drill at the end of the game? Looked like he just needed one more play. That impressed you though with the way he was able to march down the field. I know you didn't like it at the time.
Yeah, he didn't act like a freshman, and what stood out to me is his competition, the way he competed, and you know, it was very impressive.
You talked about this quarterback battle throughout this camp and the separation. What now goes into your thinking in naming the starter?
Yeah, it's all above. I mean, you know, the unfortunate thing that we wasn't able to go live. You know, if you go live, a lot of times you can find out a little sooner. It's a close race, but you know, all the way back to spring, you know, I watched every scrimmage, the one that was live, the other ones that weren't, and just trying to put, you know, all the information to make the best decision. Like I said, the great thing is we got 2, and not just 2, but we got 2 that we can really win with. And I'll say this too, like Thomas Castle's got all the reps with the scrimmage. He's getting better every day, and he's a real quarterback. So, you know, we got 3 guys. You know, but like I said, we got to name a starter. I know that'll help our team and help our chemistry and everything that goes with that.
you're wearing your shirt, what more can you say about Kamari Gamble when he's brought to the tight end?
Yeah, you know, first of all, he's extremely athletic. You know, I think that's the first thing. You know, he's got experience. He knows how to play the game. You know, he's got a lot of winner in him, and he's fit in so good. You know, that's what you always look for when transfers come in. How do they fit in? How does the team accept them? And it's like he's been here the whole time, and so that's a true blessing.
Coach, real quick, high schools will open before we talk to you again, so any words of advice or guys, the encouragement to crank up the new year?
Yeah, it's real exciting. Anytime high school football gets going, I know there's a lot of teams last night that got stormed out or whatever, but it's real exciting. And of course, these local guys, I mean, I think everybody knows. I mean, we got this area circled, and we're rooting for them. We're working hard to keep our best players home and develop relationships with those guys. And we got some great coaches around this area too that we're really pulling for. All right.
Thanks, Coach.